What is artificial intelligence?
I want to give a very simple answer about artificial intelligence. It's basically taking the human activity or the human mind and using a machine or computer system to manage it. That's the best way I can explain it. So it's just literally computers and machines doing what a human being would normally do generally.
Okay, so should human beings be scared of losing their jobs and what they can do?
I wouldn't say they should think about losing their job. I want to see it like this. So you as a person, you have senses around you, your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your ears, your mind, but you also have your blood. It's very interesting, I'll say this. But with AI, AI has what I want to describe it like this. So you have the expert systems, which I'll call like your smelling, you have to interact with trees to live. AI does have that sort of expert system, so it uses computerization algorithms to interact, but at the same time it has like a natural language, so you can understand what you're saying, so you can say something back. It also has speech recognition, so it can hear you, but at the same time you have visions from machine, so it can see what it's doing. Basically, if I wanted to work with you, you need all those senses to work. So basically, AI just has all those senses to work with me, but still, we're still limiting some things. Intuition, spirituality, the AI does not have that. So basically, you can't take everything away from humans as much as they're so afraid of, but actually, it will just enhance our productivity. Not only productivity, it will just enhance the way that we consume things from other people. Normally, right now, we're so dependent on human beings, to be honest, to get things done. Honestly, I feel you can see kids now using more of their computers than going to their parents to ask for questions.
But is that a good thing?
I think like we need more expansion of information spreading and expansion of getting things done faster. If we take one that's very, very important at the time, a lot of people are really focused on just doing their jobs to get money and forgetting the fact that as you're getting money, you're also living on the earth that can also just blow up one day because of climate action. And so AI can help us to do that. So instead of just thinking about it from a place of jobs anymore, you now have people just thinking about it from a place of how can we use computers to make our lives even better and more efficient. So I think that's the best way people should look at it than thinking of the fact that it would take away jobs. It will take away some jobs, but it's just the same way like bankers counting cash for you before, and they brought the counting machine. It doesn't take away their job fully, it just enhances the job to do things better. So I would like to say that people should remove their mind away from the fear of, oh, you know what, AI is going to take away my job, to start to look at it that how can I learn the way that my job can be more enhanced with AI.
Fantastic. So the focus of the show today is going to be on the impact of AI on businesses in Nigeria. But there's a question that leads up to that. Let's talk about the history and evolution of AI. Has it improved over time?
Oh, yes. I grew up in Manchester. And Manchester is where the first guy who created machine system was born, Alan Turing. He has a very interesting story, and he started in the, let's say, 1940s, 1950s, so we're not even long. I used to say to people that the word even data only started in the 16th century. Before 16th century, there was nothing like data, because the only way you can have data is if you're transmitting something from one place to another. We didn't used to transmit things from one place to another. If you even wanted to read the Bible, you have to go to a temple and wait for them to open the scroll. So data transmission only started in the 16th century. But in 1950, Alan Turing decided that, you know what, we're going to create a machine. And this came out of war. If you've watched the movie Enigma, you would see the whole idea of how we created that machine. But that's where AI started from. The idea, like I said, AI is just an idea that a machine can take different things. It can hear you, it can see you, it can talk to you. It's just using that sort of machine and computers to do things. And from 1940s, we saw in the 2000s that machine learning, which is the component of AI, so the machine learning and then the algorithm forms AI. In 2000, it became more prevalent because why? We started to have digital data. Now, you remember I said that data could be transmitted from one place to the other, and it could just be done from saying, here's I can take a bird, put a note in it, and send the bird to come and give you a message. But the moment we made data digital, which is the first website in 1990, was IMDb. I don't know if you know that one, the one where you watch all the movie, you can see movies, and IMDb was the first digital data platform. And so when it started in 2000, they then had data to be able to create AI now, because as they were uploading the movies, the name of the movie person, the name of all of that data was now becoming digital, because normally I would write it on a paper and I'll give it to you. As soon as it became digital, we now had a way to have data-driven availability. We had a more of a digital world. But the most important one that started happening was in 2000. In 2000, a new era of AI started. We started to have more of the computer listening to us, because everybody started to have cell phones. And so even your cell phone was listening to you. So that some people will say, when I go on my phone was showing me on social media what I was saying. Yes, because your phone is now listening. Not only is your phone listening, you're carrying it everywhere. Normally before, a computer was sitting in one location. Now you have a computer on your hand. So in 2000, AI started to become more smarter, because we now started to use the natural language thing like Siri. Hey Siri, tell me where I'm going. We started to use vision. Camera phones everywhere, so people were doing live videos, all of that was enhancing AI. But not only that, we then saw the era of robotics. And so right now, let's say from the year 2020, when ChatGPT launched, big up to ChatGPT, that just transformed everything, because now people were not just able to say, I don't know how to use the AI. AI now became a tool that you can use with the ChatGPT system. And I want to say this out here. All the data that every human being has ever put online, even if you wrote a comment on a chat, you sent a message to someone, the internet has been learning it. You know, the funny one, and I know we'll come to this about Africa and Nigeria, but most of the data that has formed AI right now is the Western data. Because they were the ones using the computers first. They was the one chatting, messaging themselves. You know, I don't even want to go into the army of America, but all the codes, all the way that they were, all of that, the AI was learning it, because you can be in Afghanistan as a soldier for America, and you're still using the internet to connect. And so the internet, you can't, it's funny to say you can't remove what is already on the internet. It's I don't know how you can delete, you can't delete the internet. It's like saying you want to delete electricity. So it's already, it's here to stay, it's here to live. But history has brought us to this part that from ChatGPT now, we're looking into a future of many industries now embracing AI, healthcare, agriculture, all of that. We're seeing that happening very, very largely today.
What then should businesses know in order to avoid pitfalls when it comes to the use of artificial intelligence?
Well, I would say two things. Businesses should know what is your system and what is your data. It's just basically that
you want to break that down?
Yeah, I'll just talk about the system, and I'll talk about the data. I think the gentleman was really Gospel was already touching on it, which is many organizations have not even been thought about what their data is. So they don't even know what the data is. How many people are buying from you? Where are they located? What is your product? What is your services? How much is it needed? What is your market value? These data, many businesses do not even take that into consideration. So normally people will do businesses in Nigeria because I saw my guy doing it, or I saw my friend doing it, or I heard that this is the biggest business in the oil company now. That's why they're doing businesses. They've not really gone around what does research look like? What does development look like? R&D is lacking in Nigeria. That's one part in the data sets. But when you come to the system now, a lot of people are not using, like, for instance, digital marketing or Google Analytics. They don't know what that is. Those type of systems are not new to them. As easy as even Google Drive could be a system that you can use to articulate your data to be able to make sure that you understand what your business is doing and see how you can plug yourself into the long run of the industrial fourth revolution that's happening. I'll use an example as this. Back in the days, if I wanted to make a fabric organization, I know that I have to go get machines that that does the fiber, and I have to know where's my farm, where I get the cotton from, and I have to bring them here. It's sort of a supply chain thing. And right now, if I wanted to do business, I have to think of what computer system will I need to run my business, because business is moving from just traditionally having the machines to now having machines with algorithms. So for you to understand your algorithm, you have to have a structured data ecosystem. That's why I said that system, and it's why I'm Echo. That system, that system, you must understand what is around me, how is my business interacting with what's around me, to create a system that can now say, okay, I can now put it on a website, I can now put it on Google Drive, I can now put it on Google Analytics, I can even search the right things on Google, because information is out there. It's just the tailored way of education is misinterpreted. I've not said it in pace.
Do I have to have a degree to understand what you're saying as a business person in Nigeria?
I don't even think it requires a degree anymore.
So it's not complex?
To be honest, creating a data set for your business is not that complex. It's really not that complex. It's just the fact that we've not started to educate our people. And I love the fact that Mr. Gospel mentioned cultural. We've not started to tell our people, and are we even ready? That's another thing.
Do you think we're ready?
You know, they used to say, when you're trying to convince your daddy to do something, he will tell you, what I see from the top, you cannot see from bottom. So when you're trying to get our governments to say, start creating policies that are around AI or better systems, start to nudge businesses to say, what is your data? You know, start to create ecosystems that help businesses understand the data they should collect, the data they should use. These things have not started to be implemented. And I think that many of us are using the AI, but we've not started to use it for our nation as effective as we want to.
I was going to take you up on, you know, loading ChatGPT. I want us to tie that to your reaction to what Gospel just said as regards more negativity than positivity.
Oh yeah, as soon as ChatGPT came out, and I love that question, as soon as ChatGPT came out, the first thing they started to talk about was education. Education is outdated, universities must change. Universities in New Zealand were like, you have to come and pitch your assignments because students were using it. So they only just saw the fact that it was used for educational system. But you know, businesses have used that to write business plans. Some people have used ChatGPT to write their business plan and got investment now. Some people have been able to use ChatGPT to understand complex things in writing it. Some people cannot speak English properly, and using ChatGPT, when they put in their broken English, or however you put it, into ChatGPT, ChatGPT converts it into clean English language. Some people have used ChatGPT to get jobs. They couldn't write a proper CV before. ChatGPT is helping them write better CVs.
So what happens if the person is employed, and then is the thinking is ChatGPT, the employer thinks is employing, and not the person who is not really qualified for the job?
And this is why across board, we must change the cultural way that we're looking at it. We must look at the way, and I love what Gospel said about the government creating policies that enhances this. One thing I want to say is that if we look at businesses in Nigeria at the moment and across Africa, some of them don't even have websites. So how is ChatGPT going to even learn about you? If we look at the context of globally, Africa has no data to even empower even the AI itself. So we need to start doing more. We need to start getting businesses to create websites. Even just have a website. Your website is on the internet, and the internet is capturing your texts. It's capturing the words that it's saying over there, and it's forming a persona of Africa. Right now, what we have at the persona of Africa is coming from the Western world. It's coming from the BBC documentary that they uploaded on the internet, and we don't have real data structures of Africa. So I think that if I was even speaking to the government, I was saying to them, you need to set up policies that allow data structures to be collected. For instance, take Lagos, for instance. How many businesses have websites in Lagos? You know, and you need to start getting businesses to say, for you to even be verified as a business in Lagos, you have to have a website. You have to have this. You have to have, because that enables AI to know that, okay, if I want to talk about Lagos, I know that this and this and this is in Lagos, you know, and it gives us a better use of AI. Now, just to even add on top of that, you know, let's not just even focus on ChatGPTs. Let's just focus on even some sectors that has actually seen, for instance, COVID-19 that happened in 2020. South Africa was able to predict where COVID-19 was happening the most using AI. That's an African country. We look at finance. When we're talking about economics now, I love Gospel mentioned about, you know, the recession. Now we can actually have economics done from complete information and no error, so that we don't have economics that's happening the way it is. Because normally we actually set prices of things based on supply and demand. But actually AI can help us to not do it from supply and demand anymore. It can actually have us have personalized pricing based on who you are. Imagine that AI was able to help me go to a particular place and I can buy things lesser because of my value in the system. Maybe I'm not earning enough. All those kind of things that we would do before by ourselves, by government saying, okay, we're giving palliatives to you because you'll be able to buy this thing on a discount rate. Or now AI can do that for a whole economics. Now imagine the government of Nigeria saying, you know what, we're going to use AI and match it to e-Naira. Wow. Just the grand scheme of the businesses that it will take as case studies to do that would be brilliant. It will change sectors. Let's go to manufacturing. We are talking about manufacturing in Nigeria now. We don't even have to set one person as the CEO of manufacturing. We can decide this is the manufacturing we want to do. We're using AI to do all of it. We have poultries in Nigeria right now using machines. They just have the eggs that are coming out of the chicken, is going to a particular place, is boxing it, is shipping it. We can do that in Nigeria. Let's go to transportation. We have trains now. Why don't we use AI for the trains? Why don't we start getting data? Because when you start to put machines to learn things, before over time, the machine can tell you that, okay, the train that's been used in Lagos now, this is the amount of populations entering, this is the amount of things that are happening. You can now make a better train like this. You are allowing the machine to learn what we're already putting on ground, but it's setting up a future where this industrial 4th revolution is coming to life.
What are the infrastructures needed for stuff like this?
You just need data and system. Okay. So we already have systems functioning. The problem we're not doing is that we're not making those systems into an ecosystem where you can actually extract data. So for instance, the train exists, but if we said, okay, how many people are entering the train? Where are they coming from? Why? The only way you can do that is let's develop a website that people can book their train instantly. The moment you're doing that, you are collecting data. And that data set now can be given to a machine to say, learn the people that are buying train tickets online, and learn the people that are buying tickets from coming to the train station. You're able to optimize now, saying, okay, if people are coming to the train station and it's getting crowded, then we need to nudge people more to using the online system. These things are able to help us understand how to make things more efficient and even how to help make things more productive. I want to put numbers to it. It is predicted that AI will contribute about $15 trillion to GDP. And it comes from two things. One, it comes from consumption and it comes from production.
You are looking at how many years from now?
Oh, but no, it's not even far. Okay. Because if you look at what ChatGPT did in 1 year, it went billions. It didn't go, it was going to, we're talking 500 billion and upward. So if one AI machine can form billions in 1 year, imagine the new AIs that are coming out already. I'm thinking the next one that will come out will be in insurance. I'm very, very sure of predicting it that it's going to be insurance, because you'll be able to say, why am I getting the same insurance in Lagos to insurance in Delta? And these are some of the things that will change.
I was going to ask you specifically to bust some of these myths surrounding what AI can and cannot do.
Okay, so I've said it already from the beginning. AI is like a human, but without blood or the spirits. If I wanted to have a conversation with someone about a business, it depends on the level that they're in, and I speak to them about it. They tell me strategies, solutions to things, and we work on it together. AI would do better. AI would not have errors. It would have more information. We can't think as fast. Even though our brain has that capacity, we've not reached that capacity. That's why we're now giving artificial intelligence to say, take all our data, give me back something. So definitely, I want to just drill it down to three things that are mostly the fear. And I'll speak from a technical level because Mr. Gospel just spoke from a ground level. Everybody, don't be afraid of it. Use it. Let's sensitize more people to use it. Don't be afraid of losing your jobs, which are basically the things for a normal everyday person. But let's go to the higher level. Three things: privacy, security, and the misuse of it. You can actually misuse AI. Literally, if we put the whole of Nigeria on AI, somebody can hack into Nigeria and scatter our economy, because it's still hackable. It's a code, it's a system. It can be hacked. So it can be misused. It can be misused to say, okay, if we upload all our data in it, it's a fear. You can say, if we upload all our data in it, this thing, somebody from America can just hack into the AI of Nigeria and shut us down. It depends. Security, how much are we protecting the integrations that we're integrating? Because AI is about integration. We need to say, okay, your ChatGPT, now what ChatGPT has done is it has just integrated all the data that is online. I was listening to a professor talk about it, and he said, ChatGPT is just data from all social media. And because when you're interacting on social media, computer is learning that this person said, how are you doing today? So it's chatting to you the way it has learned how human beings have been chatting for the past, how many years have we have social media now? More than 12 years? So it has learned communication and now it's using that. So we need to create systems like that that are integrated but focus more on our continents, more tailored to what we want to bring out of Africa. For instance, one of the most important things we need to look at in Africa is sustainable technology. I said this before. Is our resources has been depleted and stolen for years, and that is what has destroyed our economy. If we look at the numbers that they steal from Africa yearly, billions of dollars, why don't we just use AI to curb that one first? Saying every integration of mining or removing things in supply chain from Africa, all put now on AI. The data must be put on AI. Why? What the machine will learn, it will learn that that whole system. But let me just end it here.
Yeah.
Privacy. What should be put there and what should not be put there? Whose name should be put there? Who should be in charge of things? These are some of the 3 ways. So I'll reiterate that again. Privacy, security, and misuse of AI is the fear, but there are ways that we can mitigate it. And if we don't start now, we lose for the coming future, where Africa should be standing in the forefront of AI. We're now standing in the backbone again and saying we don't know what it's doing. When we can actually design a new AI that has not, we don't have any data now. Data has not been lent from Africa.
But it can be done, right?
We can start a new slate and it will teach the Western world even how to use AI better.